We're the first company that ever tried this, and we are also the only ones on the planet that are doing this. And there's a reason for this, because from a business point of view, it's completely ridiculous. We're in that small niche called gaming computers. Within that niche, we're in that small niche that basically likes sci-fi. Within that niche, we put ourselves into another niche and say, let's do Star Trek. And then we decided, you know what, let's put another niche on and let's hinge our whole business model on the villains. And still working.
For CherryTree, our biggest sellers are Star Trek computers, mainly our Borg cubes, and all those Borg cubes are handmade, hand detailed, and hand built.
I was sitting in my home theater and I was watching First Contact. And I see this Borg cube flying. And for some reason, my first thought was, did anybody ever put a computer in that thing? This was the first Borg cube computer we had. Yeah, that's how you see it. And it was kind of ridiculous how we did this. So this is actually a piece that I got off Amazon. It's basically a display box, and we fit an STX mainboard in there, which they don't make anymore, unfortunately. And then we printed the shell around it. Back then, I had a painter working over there at the construction site, and I gave him this to paint, and he left it out in the sun, and it started melting. So we had to reheat it and reshape it. Games are almost more vibrant than movies. Everything pops, even something as dark and violent as the Borg cubes pop. I think Gabriel was the one who said that you guys want 4 absolutely incredible, insane machines. And my first thought, we need to water cool this. Kevin made a Borg Alcove and modified it in a way that we fit the water pump in there.
For the Fleet Command computers, I worked on the alcove that the water cooler sits in. I use Blender to model, and it can get accurate enough for what we do. Blender is a polygonal modeling, so there's faces and triangles that make up the shapes. CAD programs such as SolidWorks are surface-based modeling, so there's no faces technically. They're highly accurate, and Blender is not intended for highly accurate injection molded CAD. It's intended for video games or for 3D printing things.
Then I saw the water pump in there and I thought, okay, looks nice, still blunt, still blah. What can we do? This is basically the acrylic tube that is used for the water pump in there, for the reservoir. And this doesn't come with all those symbols on it. When I saw that blank tube sitting in there, I thought, yeah, this is not enough, this is not us. This is like any company would do stuff, they just use it off the shelf. With our laser cutter and engraver that we have, we also can do round things. And I basically designed this and put it in the laser cutter and engraved it on it. These are the second ones that I had to make, because the first ones were a $600 mistake. I made the first one, look at it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is beautiful. I need to make all of them. So I took all the 4 that I already ordered for you guys, put them in the engraver, engraved them. Before I built the first one, only to figure out that I engraved too deep. And I turned it on, and it was little like tss, tss. And we were sitting back there, all of us, and we're like, really? This is happening now? So I reordered those, I readjusted, and now they are good. The tooling is with injection molding the most expensive part. So our industrial designer back then, Warren, he had one of the most brilliant ideas I've ever heard. He said, why don't we make a Borg cube panel? It has to be the right size, but it's one panel and we can use for everything.
I had a hand in way back on the panel with our industrial designer at the time. I told him some shapes to try and get in there and then helped him find what needed drafting for the injection molding process.
CherryTree is not like any place I've ever worked before. It's not super corporate. We're a small team and everybody has a hand in everything. You learn from everybody. I do a lot of the cosmetic work, but I think you have to be a little bit technical to be able to explain things to customers. So I do have to understand that. So I would say that I'm a little bit technical. I'm technical enough.
I come from a time where computers were really special. I have in my office a collection of old computers from the 80s and early 90s. None looks the same.
The thing is that here at CherryTree, our goal is to make computers that look like art. We didn't want to make normal computers because otherwise then you could just go somewhere else and buy them. Here, we want to make art. That's what we do. We want to make things that don't look like a computer. For me, the most important thing is it's special to the individual that gets it after. So, whoever's going to get those, they're going to treasure it. It's not like, oh my God, it's a cool computer, and then they're just going to toss it. We have customers who come back to us from years ago that still tell us that they love this thing, they treasure this thing. And with these ones, there's only going to be 4 of them.
It's cool seeing the passion that the fans have, for sure. And it's cool in recent years when you're in the convention and you're at a hotel and you're in the elevator and they see your shirt and it says CherryTree. They're like, oh, you guys make the Borg Cube computers. So people are starting to get the name and recognize us and whatnot, which is super cool.
I would say that I am a filthy casual in the world of Star Trek. I'm a baby Trekkie fan. I'm not super deep in the universe. I have a lot to watch, a lot to catch up on, but I do like it.
When you're such a fan, like the average Star Trek fan, Star Wars fan, Babylon 5 sci-fi fan, most of those people are really hardcore fans. Yeah, they have costumes, they have props and whatnot. And one of our goal was to give them technology and shape of the things they really love, like a ship, a prop, space station. Why does a machine that you use for doing pretty things, why does it have to be a black box? Why can't it be something that you really like?